if the conservatives really are doing this, um, to take out the liberal bent in the Bible, I just um, I have trouble with it. The dichotomy, first of all, and from what I gather, I mean, I'm not going to make assumptions. I've watched your videos uh, quite a bit, but from what you're saying here is that you tend to lean toward liberal, or maybe it is you leaning toward the left. But again, I'm not really into that dichotomy of conservative slash liberal, right slash left wing. I don't believe that they actually exist. I don't believe that uh, politics and people that are playing political games uh, actually see the world as black and white. I think that momentarily, at any given time, with different current circumstances, different um, pressing concerns, different um, events, things that happen at any period of time, short periods of time I'm talking about, um, it's easy to look at it as black and white. And then it'll create a pattern of behavior, but actually the patterns don't really add up as far as what I'm seeing. And what I mean to say is that a politician's a fair weather friend. Uh, he's not really following any principle, he or she. They will go with whatever is politically expedient for them because it's a popularity contest. This has nothing to do with philosophy of the world. That is a philosophy in itself. How to keep power and how to get elected or selected, as the case may be. But getting back to your main premise here of the Bible, um, first of all, you make a wide sweeping assumption that what's in the Bible wasn't already tainted at previous historical junctures by the same types of um, fanatical, biased groups that wanted to use it for their purposes, that wanted to alter it to fit the times and fit their needs. Um, this has happened so many times that you can't even count. Uh, when was the Bible codified? It wasn't 2,000 years ago. It was less than that. Um, when was the Old Testament codified? Well, it was scattered bits and pieces in the BC era, or the BCE, which is more politically correct. Um, and as far as interpretation, they can use it as a tool just as well as people that you might want to see as liberals using it as a tool. But if they put out their own version, then more power to them, because that's what everybody has done. And if the liberals want to create their own version of the Bible, then that's the proper response. Because then that they would be admitting that they're liberals that have some basis in the Bible, as opposed to the conservatives, if they actually exist, who are creating a conservative version of the Bible. So that would be the most appropriate thing to do. But if they don't do that, and if this Bible version doesn't really get modified and produced, then who knows? Do you know that there's at least 15 major translations of the Bible, or versions, because they actually put them into different languages, which is tough. But when you see it from the most common basis of the English language, those 15 versions um, are so widely varied. I've studied a handful of them side by side, and it's like, wow, the amount of different interpretation that you can get from those versions just make your head spin. So there's not much that you can do to create a purely conservative version because it's like already there. Um, Getting to your statement about how they're going to change the definition of words, if they can change a definition of a word by twisting the context, then maybe. But the Bible really doesn't contain a dictionary. If they want to add that in there, then that'll be something different. But peace, you said, and this is really the sticking point here because it's kind of ironic the way you put it, and maybe you don't realize um, how flawed your statement is. When you say that they're going to redefine the word peace so that it actually means war, and then in your prior reference to Jesus Christ um, as being someone who supported the poor, who would help out the needy, and who wanted to have compassion, but actually, when you study very deeply most of the translations of the Bible, it shows that Jesus Christ is saying that he is for peace, but he's going to bring a sword to the world. And he indeed was bringing it when he was there, and he continues to bring it through his ongoing influence as the Lord for many people. He brings a sword to divide the world, not to bring peace. In other words, he's the Prince of Peace. He's a King of Kings, and in this kind of peace movement, you have to have very firm, aggressive behavior over long term, like an increase, going from getting slapped on both sides of the cheek to then rising up victorious over your enemies. Now, I'm going to end on this note. Do you know why you would signify someone slapping your face and seeing what they've done, and not in front of their face slapping them back, but right in front of them in that moment, letting them slap your other cheek? Do you know why you do that? Because you've then conclusively made them guilty, and later on, you can punish them. That's why he does it that way. Not because he wants to get slapped around and beat up forever. It's because you've implicated the guilty. Let them slap you twice. Because really, things can't be proven by a one-time over. Once and then twice. That's why everybody thinks that Jesus Christ is coming back twice. He slapped the world once to wake them up. Now he's going to slap the world again in the other cheek. And we'll finally be awake then.